The Dad.
Rock and roll!
Well, judging from the carving on your desk, it looks like his name is Ozzy.
Yes, and apparently he rules.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Tell me you don't know anything about business, and without telling me you don't know anything about business. So this is Ryan Gosling in one of the stills from the Star Wars Starfighter movie that's coming out a year from now, about. Basically, it's supposed to be in its own time zone, in its own time frame. It doesn't have anything to do with the Skywalkers. Apparently, according to Josh, Sean Levy, who is the director and the producer, etc., of this movie. So, what do you do in the doldrums when you have a fan YouTube channel and there's nothing to talk about? Mandalorian, Grogu came out. The fans liked it. But of course, Gary, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Mr. H, and the rest of the garbage have to shit all over it, even though it was received very well. The typical usual suspects. And and of course, the Kinderman trilogy was talked about, and then that rumor again died, and now we've got this rumor. Now, I'm going to give you a little background. Sean Levy has said, I do not want to touch anything that came before this movie. It has nothing to do with, the Skywalker timeline at all. And I take him at his word. I think he was pretty much brought in and told by Disney, hey, we're not going to pay for it. You want to make this movie, you're going to figure out how to pay for it yourself. And they did. I mean, Jon Favreau got together and did it. And he was also probably told that the sequel trilogy actually lost money and was probably showed the books. Now, this is when you've got what he has said. And you've got just it being very quiet right now. And you got what he said. What do you think people who need to make money are going to do? The, weekly world news of the internet. They're going to make up a story. One day, Rey is going to come and fetch the kid from Ryan Gosling's mentorship. That's the rumor. Now, go back and see what Sean Levy said. And of course, he did do some pickups. He did do some refilming at the end. And he said he didn't realize how good it would be until he actually did it. That could mean a lot of things. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Considering what we know about a certain movie that weirdly Adam Driver wanted to make that got killed by Disney before they started, literally right before they started rolling film. The Search for Kyle Ron. Him and Driver and Soderbergh were shown the books and pretty much were like, okay, we understand and it's dead. Soderbergh has said it's dead. But now we've got the Rey thing coming up. I want to explain to you why this is an illogical story to get clicks and rage clicks from the audience. Okay.
Dad, when are you going to stop blighting the environment with this atrocity? My God, can't you see that it wants to die? Let it go. Even if the trusty added starve of cold, disgust of fever.
What an odd combination of odors. Smells like a fish died and all the other fish sent flowers.
Gargle, google, goo.
What?
Now you know how it feels. What are you talking about?
So, Bob Iger and Alan Bergman knew very well how poorly the sequel trilogy was received by the fans. The numbers do not lie. They never lie. And when Steven Soderbergh approached Iger with Adam Driver saying, we want to make this movie, they were not given the green light. They were getting all ready to make it. It was in development. In fact, they had a crew ready and everything to go. When Iger and Bergman showed them the books for the sequel trilogy and what a mess that was, and Iger and Bergman killed it. Why? Because if the sequel trilogy didn't make any money, why on earth would The Hunt for Ben Solo make money? Right? And, now the rumor is Disney executives want to basically remove the sequel trilogy from canon and move away from it. Okay? So when I hear people saying, well, we have to move away from the Skywalker saga, what part of it? I ask, what part of it? Sequels? Yeah, because they suck. Okay? Put them in Legends and let it go. All right? Josh D'Amaro is carrying Iger's orders out. Iger has not left. He's still there at Disney until the end of December. Okay? And so far, so good, smooth sailing. But I find it fascinating that the fact of the matter is, everybody knows the sequels didn't make money. Everybody knows Soderbergh has said over and over again, The Hunt for Ben Solo is dead. We're not doing it. It's dead. Disney doesn't want to touch it. But instead of going, this movie about Rey showing up in Starfighter doesn't make any sense, because when that comes out in the public, the movie's dead before it ever hits the theaters. Okay, and that's true. It's dead before it hits the theaters. So you've got to ask questions. Who benefits from spreading this rumor? All right? Why would Disney say, fine, we'll do it, when they know perfectly well the general public hates Rey as much as they hated Kyle Ren, and they killed that movie right away, right? So, and, ignoring what Sean Levy said about where Starfighter fits in the Star Wars universe, what they're basically doing is they're going back to the anthology movies. I look at Mando and Grogu, and it should have said The Mandalorian and Grogu, a Star Wars story. It's an anthology. Starfighter is part of that. They have to fix the sequels and do it in a way that silences the black pills. Even though the black pills, look, I predicted that they would go after Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. They have. I'll predict this. They can erase the sequel trilogy, put it into Legends, leave it on Disney Plus, but make it known that it's not canon anymore. And Nerdrotic, Geeks and Gamers, and the rest of them will attack Disney for doing that. Right? They'll make up a reason. And the fact of the matter is, these people were pissed off that they weren't going to get a Ben Solo movie. Because, look, they're not Star Wars fans. They don't care about the ruined legacies. They don't give a shit about what Kennedy did to George and Mark and Harrison and Carrie. They're what they do is they don't they don't concentrate on what they should concentrate on. The left wing garbage that has become the sequels, right? And the fact that they didn't make any money. You know, Disney's first investment was about $4.3 billion, right? Then how many more billions did they sink into Lucasfilm and, you know, through good money after bad? Yeah, a lot of money. A lot of money. And in my opinion, it's well known. It's not like that's a secret. So the question is, you know, I want to ask these people, I want to ask Star Wars Theory, why would Disney kill The Hunt for Ben Solo and let Levy, who's not even part of this, bring Rey in? Because, like I said before, the moment people hear that Daisy Ridley's in the movie is the moment people stop buying tickets. They're not going to go to the movie. And, you know, it's like, when are you going to learn your lesson? Right? So I look at this rumor and go, you know, you guys got to stop. There is not going to be, if Rey shows up, that'll be the first thing that slips out of people's mouths. If Rey shows up. Right? They can't save the sequel trilogy. It's beyond saving. Because it just pisses the fans off. And, you know, after looking at what they're doing at the parks now, Disney has learned its lesson. And there's no reason to bring an unpopular character to the Starfighter movie if one mention of her turns people away. I honestly think that these people only make money and are only happy being miserable, right? I can't imagine living like that. But again, if they killed the Ben Solo movie, why would Rey show up in Sean Levy's movie? In any way, shape, or form? That's a question. It doesn't make any sense. Especially since Disney knows how much money that movie lost. That the sequel trilogy's lost. Right? And they did lose money. I don't give two fucks what people think. They lost money, and that's the bottom line. And, you know, you've got big shareholders who want their dividends. They want results. And doing a Kyle Ron movie was known by everybody to be a bad idea. Of course, Steven Soderbergh, Adam Driver live in this, you know, cognitive dissonance where, you know, well, everybody I know likes it. Well, we're not talking about some transvestite friend of yours in Hollywood. We're talking about Main Street USA hates it. All right, hates the sequels. And will not participate in the sequels. And again, the reason why the Kyle Ron movie was killed is because it wasn't going to make any money, and the suits knew it. I mean, you know, so why would the suits allow Rey to be in Sean Levy's movie? Again, let me add this. Sean Levy had to go outside of Disney to get money to make this. But still, and it's still under Disney's banner. So this movie has to perform. And, you know, I'm pretty sure Disney did spend some on this. And they know if anything that leads to the sequel trilogy is leaked, the movie is going to die. It will be dead before it hits the theaters. Just like they knew that the Kyle Ron movie would be dead. Okay? So there is no Rey in Sean Levy's movie. All right? That's absolute suicide for this. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.